UA.1B.K1. This code talks about registration requirements for small unmanned aircraft. Now, the specific regulation that's going to be covering this is Part 107.15, and this regulation states that no person may operate a small unmanned aircraft that's eligible for registration unless, so in other words, if the aircraft can be registered, you can't fly it unless you do one of the following things. The first one is that the owner has registered and marked the aircraft in accordance with this part. The next one is that the aircraft is operated exclusively in accordance with that particular code, and that's basically as a hobby aircraft. And it weighs 0.55 pounds or less, or the aircraft is in the U.S. Armed Forces. So the gist of this that you need to know is if the aircraft is allowed to be registered, you have to do one of these things before you can fly it. I don't want to say you can disregard the Armed Forces one, but I would imagine most people getting their Part 107 and flying their drones for the various jobs you're going to do, that your aircraft is not part of the U.S. Armed Services. So really the ones that you need to focus on for your career are the first two at the top. And the top one is pretty straightforward, that, again, that it's been registered. But the one where people kind of get into some trouble sometimes is the second one. And this is the key thing. It says that in order to basically get out of registering it, that the two things need to apply. One is that the aircraft is operated exclusively as a recreational aircraft under the code that covers what the rules are for operating as a hobby. And then this other word is critical. That's the word and. Okay. And it weighs 0.55 pounds or less. And what I want to stress here, and what I've seen some people make mistakes on, is they believe that the drones that are very lightweight, and a number of the manufacturers make drones that are very lightweight under these thresholds for this reason, to help people not have to worry about the registration requirement. And as long as you're flying that aircraft completely for recreational purposes, then that's perfectly fine. You don't need to register it. But notice what it says is that in order to get out of registering it, it's not just the weight, but it simultaneously requires that it is used exclusively for that. So if you fly it recreationally 3 months, straight, and then, one day out of the year, you have something that you want to do that would be a Part 107 operation, then this drone must be registered, even though it is under the weight threshold. So the gist is that any aircraft that you're going to fly using Part 107, flying under Part 107 as a drone pilot, it does not matter how light it is, you still have to register that drone. That is a very, very key thing that you need to know, both for the test as well as for your operation and your career as a drone pilot.